morning/evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to High Media Headlines. We are going to be rebranding this into the HIMediaTV news update. We are working on some illustrious new things, including making a web app that I'm titling this module Morning Coffee, where you can get a newsreel, listen to the news here, as well as get the current weather where you are. That's a feature that I want to get another module that I'm working on done, so I can at least export the code and get that done properly, but that will be to come. In the meantime, we've got some news today. Instead of going over some of the more fun stuff, I'm just giving you the top stories at time of recording. Firstly, United States Senate Republicans block Ukraine and Israel aid bill over a border dispute. An emergency spending bill to provide billions of dollars in security assistance for Ukraine and Israel was blocked in the U.S. Senate on Wednesday as Republicans pressed their demands for tougher measures to control immigration at the U.S. border with Mexico. The vote was 49 in favor, 251 against, leaving the $110.5 billion measure short of the 60 votes needed in the 100-member Senate to pave the way to start debate threatening President Joe Biden's push to provide new aid before the end of 2023. The vote was right down party lines, with every Senate Republican voting no, along with Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent who generally votes with Democrats but has expressed concerns about funding Israel's current inhumane military strategy against the Palestinians, i.e. bombing refugee camps. The bill would provide a $50 billion new security assistance for Ukraine, as well as money for humanitarian and economic aid for the government in Kiev, plus a $14 billion bonus for Israel as it battles Hamas in Gaza. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, also voted no so that he could introduce the measure again in the future. After the vote, Schumer notes the risk that if Ukraine falls, saying it was a serious moment that will have lasting consequences for the 21st century, risking the decline of Western democracy. Republicans said it was essential to make their case for tighter immigration policies and control of the southern border. Meanwhile, some takeaways from the fourth Republican debate. Or was this the fourth? From the most recent Republican debate. The Republican presidential candidates scrapped their political lives are on the line at their fourth debate at Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Wednesday, and they are. With a winnowed field and dwindling time before ballots are cast, the four candidates are on the stage. Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Chris Christie are still trailing behind former President Donald Trump by wide margins, and though Trump was physically absent again, the specter of his bid to return to the Oval Office hung low in the background throughout the night. DeSantis and Haley, who were within shouting distance of each other in national polls and some state surveys, tussled to gain an upper hand in the fight to move into sole possession of second place. Just more than a month before the Iowa caucuses and the possibility that this could be the last primary debate, the candidates left few of their clip-worthy attacks on the cutting room floor. Here are a couple of takeaways from the fourth GOP debate. A target on Haley's back hints at a lead. Haley, the beneficiary of a fresh endorsement from the Koch-connected Americans for Prosperity, absorbed volleys from both DeSantis and Ramaswamy. In some cases, she returned fire. They went after her for taking big money from Wall Street donors, and specifically Reid Hoffman, a long-term Democratic contributor, who gave her $250,000 to a Haley-backed super PAC earlier this week. The Trump fear factor continues also to be real. No one in the field has figured out how to cut into his lead, and few of the current or former candidates have dared to try and attack him. The truth is, he remains popular with the GOP primary electorate and loved by the party's hardcore base. Still, Christie and Ramaswamy tried Wednesday to position themselves as the least sycophantic of the candidates. I'm in this race because the truth needs to be spoken about Trump, said Christie, who advised the former president for years but has since turned on him. There's no bigger issue in this race than Donald Trump. And lastly, on this article, DeSantis plays an artful dodger. DeSantis, who had become a more agile debater over the course of the campaign, easily sidestepped direct questions repeatedly. Would he send the U.S. military into Gaza? How can he square his call for shooting suspected drug dealers as they cross the U.S.-Mexico border with the law? Not exactly clear. Christie called him out on the dancing. Ron gets asked a question, and he doesn't answer it, the former New Jersey governor said. When you're the president of the United States, you're going to have a choice whether to answer the question or not. You can't give a 90-second speech about your military service. And for the final story of today, 3 are left dead after a shooting on UNLV campus, Las Vegas. Police say 3 people are dead and 1 person is in stable condition after a shooting on the University of Northern Las Vegas campus. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police said Wednesday the suspect is also dead, said police. Authorities knew the name of the suspect, but will withhold it until the next of kin is notified. The suspect, who was identified as a 67-year-old career college professor whose connection to UNLV is unknown at this time, a law enforcement source told CNN. President Joe Biden reacted to the shooting in UNLV and in Texas on Tuesday by calling on Republicans in Congress to pass a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Today marks the 80th school shooting in 2023. According to a CNN analyst, the UNLV campus, which will be closed the rest of the week, is just a few miles from the site of the 2017 mass shooting at the Route 1 Harvest Music Festival, which left at least 58 people dead and hundreds more wounded. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to the HIMediaTV News Update. Thank you for your time, your listenership, your viewership, as we continue to roll out more content and more products for your viewing pleasure. Please consider checking out our new web app at HIMedia.gg, and get access to pretty cool things I've built, such as the ability to watch our live streams immediately without having to navigate to Twitch, while also using the Twitch interface, as well as our recipe repository for our cooking by approximation videos, and even listen to this podcast directly on it as well. We're also working on a custom Pokedex that points you directly to episodes of Audio Decks. We have a soundboard in the works and many other fun little features. You can also check out my GitHub and see what other cool things I've built, and I hope to share with you soon. This web app, I'm hoping, turns into the basis of my content creation strategy, and I can't wait to see it grow and build as many free, usable features as possible that will allow you, my illustrious viewers, to enjoy yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening. I appreciate you, your time, and your listenership. Have a wonderful day.